Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so this has been a good morning for what it is that had to be done. A very good morning. Things lined up right today for me. Very, very right. And I'll do my best to explain it. So I woke up like around 4 a.m. and 4:30, somewhere around there, out of a dream that was rather bizarre. I had actually two dreams that involved psycho killers trying to, one of them, I don't remember exactly what the situation was. All I know is it had something to do with a psycho killer. That much I'm sure. It was strange, man, because I know I had been hearing the word killer a lot. It was one of them situations where the content that I was watching constantly had somebody talking about a killer. So I know where it came from. And then everything that's going on in Gaza, as I tell y'all, man, that stuff, if you watch enough of it, if you see enough of what it is that myself and so many others have seen, you're going to have dreams that are going to be a little more demented than maybe your natural mind would have. So I think it's a combination of that kind of thing. But unfortunately enough, man, the first dream I don't remember. He didn't get me though. Whatever the case was, he didn't get me. But in the second dream, it was a African-American kid. He was like probably like 17, 18 years old. And he was mentally ill. But I had understood him to be someone who might be like a psycho killer, like a murderer. And he was coming at me a strange, like constantly. I was in a, what was I at? I was in like a laundromat or something like that, trying to do laundry. And he came out of the back area and just lunged at me. And I pushed him off of me and said, listen, bro, I know you're not well. I don't want to hurt you, because I'm much bigger than him in the dream. But I understood him to be a dangerous person. So I'm like, look, I don't have any interest in having no problems with you. Just leave me alone, basically. Don't try me, bro. That was my kind of attitude. But he kept coming at me. I ended up stabbing him in the heart with a pencil. Killed him. I was the killer that killed the killer, unfortunately. But I woke up out of that dream just thinking, you know, praying, like, you know, Lord, I don't want any of that energy in me, on me, or nothing like that. That's not what I want for myself. That's not what I want for anybody else. You know what I mean? I was just praying. And I tried to go back to sleep, but I couldn't, man. I literally could not go back to sleep. So I just stayed up praying for about, probably, I don't know. I didn't look at the clock, to be honest with you, till the sun came up. Praying about everything I could think of. Thanking the Lord for lining up me with this particular room and the various different things that I was able to accomplish in this room. And I was thinking about all the different things that happened in the last 3 weeks in that particular room and how I felt so at peace when I first walked in there. And I ran through the whole three weeks, everything I could think of. There was a lot to appreciate, including the shower itself. As I've complained about showers in that building, that was the best one I had used. Super powered, great temperature. Every day was a holiday in the shower. So it was just a lot of stuff about that made me appreciate that room. The bed was comfortable. You know, I'd done some good art there, that kind of thing. So I was just thinking about all of that, praying or whatever. And when I finished my prayer, I think somebody outside the window had played some type of old school 80s track. Somebody was getting in their car, going to work or whatever at 6 in the morning or something like that, and they played a song. And so I grabbed my phone and made sure that I had the song. I put it in my phone, did everything I had to do on Apple Music. Then I realized that I had taken another song from that same era and had Shazammed it when I walked past the strip club outside the hotel some random day about 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, okay, I have 2 songs that I can add. And then I heard more or less a voice in my head just say, why don't you just work on a playlist? You got plenty of time. Why don't you just work on a playlist? So I did. I ended up making 2 of them because it was too long. You got 80s old school. It's going to be at least 40 songs that are going to be very easy to throw together. And my playlists, they don't last that long. They're only an hour and 20 minutes. So I ended up getting about 2 playlists worth of music. It ended up being an hour and 50 minutes a piece. So it's a good, you know, it was good. It was a good experience this morning. And while I was making that playlist, I sent a text to my uncle the night before letting him know about today being the day that the contract ends. And he sent me a text this morning basically saying, yo, we gotta communicate on the update, what's going on. Like, that in and of itself is something that needs to happen, because they should have, in theory, given me the SSI information already on my, whether or not I'll be getting SSI. And it's just kind of sort of lining up in a sense that I do need to find out what's going on with SSI, but I also have had a breakthrough in regards to my mental health based on what conversation I had with my therapist 2 days ago rather. And so it was one of those situations where it's like, although that statement stresses me to a degree, which is why I was glad I was making a playlist when the text came, there is an update to be had to say, I think we've had a breakthrough in understanding. My therapist understands a great deal more of why I have some of the issues I have. And I think she knows what treatments or what path she wants to take in regards to trying to help me. On the other hand, SSI should be coming soon. I mean, last I checked, the middle of February, they said they were like 75% or whatever it was. I don't remember exactly, but somewhere in that range. We're nearing the middle of March, so I was guesstimating that probably around April would be when they'd know it, but I don't know what's holding it up since it should have came already. But you know, I've been thinking about that. My therapist also mentioned it as well. What is your path? What do you want to see in regards to your living situation? And so I realized that those words are aligning. She said it. Now my uncle's trying to come back around and say, yo, what's going on? Why are we still, more or less, why is it still the same process? And it's like, there is things to learn, but there's also more to tell. I haven't just been sitting on my backside, or, you know what I mean? I'm learning about myself and what needs to be addressed. So it's like, okay, that's good. Glad I had a playlist being worked on when that text came in, or otherwise it would have sent me into a space of great negativity. And I felt like the Lord lined it up so that I was working on something when that text came through. After I replied to my uncle, my sister hit me up. My sister Diane with the Bible verse. And then she proceeded to tell me that my other sister, has an opportunity in West LA that she doesn't want to take because it's too far away from where she lives, where she likes to roam. But it's right up my alley where I like to live. So it's like my sister was telling me, hey, if everything lines up, maybe your sister can pass you that place. Now, I don't know what programs my sister's in. I may not be in those. I'm not in those programs, so I may not qualify for what my sister applies for. But the fact that she may not want an apartment that is in the area I wouldn't mind living in, and a very comfortable area for me to live in, and that text came in after my uncle sent that text, and I was working on a playlist when both texts came in, it just seemed like a lot of things were lining up so that I could receive whatever it was I was supposed to receive. Now, that doesn't mean that I know I'm going to be able to get that apartment or whatever, but I do know that my sister sent me that text right after my uncle asked for an update on what's going on, or that we need to talk about an update on what's going on. Very, very interesting stuff. And then I was sitting there as I'm working on my playlist. After I finished replying to my sister, she said she was going to call me tomorrow and let me know the other sister is supposed to go to the place in West LA, check it out, and see if it's for her or not. And so she's either going to do that today or tomorrow. My sister will call me tomorrow and let me know what the other sister decides or what have you. So I'm like, all right, cool. That's a nice, some nice little bit of information. I don't know if it turns into anything or not, but you know, we like hope. You know what I mean? We like hope. We like opportunities. We see what God is trying to do. So it's like, all right, cool. After that, I finished working on my playlist, and it took a little longer than it should have because I kept adding music to it, trying to split it in half, make sure it was even on both sides since it turned into 2 playlists. And after I finished the process, I was telling myself, yo, we only got 2 hours to get everything we need to get out of here. Like, we gotta check out, of course. And it is one of those situations where I say everything lined up. And I went in there I did my little workout, and I was telling myself, you know, I've added things to my suitcase. So when I do my suitcase squats, maybe I want to scale back on how many I do, because it's going to be heavier, obviously, and you don't want to hurt yourself. But what I've been also doing is stretching 3 times more than I had in the last 3 days. Just been stretching like 6 times a day, ridiculously. So I was like, you know, you might be able to pull it off. I'm a little older, but I might be able to pull it off. And as I was doing my final set, I was listening to Laker Nation's podcast, and the guy who was talking was essentially saying, you're stronger than you think, push through. He was going through a spiel in regards to that message while I'm trying to push through a process that was heavier than usual, more strenuous than usual. And I'm just like, man, it seemed like God is talking to me through this man, Trevor Lane, to tell me to finish not only the set I'm in, but also the process of what it is I'm going through in life. It was like a double entendre type of thing that I was picking up on. And so as I'm listening to him and he's saying push through, when he finished his message in regards to that is when I completed this 5th set of 98. Now, mind you, every time my suitcase is that heavy, I don't never lift this many times. I just know better. I refuse most of the time to put myself through anything that's strenuous, because this is going to be significantly more difficult for the body. But I wanted to push through, and he's talking about push through, you're stronger than you think. And I'm like, man, this is almost like he's talking directly to me to coach me up to finish this set. That ain't it. After that, now mind you, this is not as important, but it just speaks to the alignment of things. I went to the restroom, took care of all the business necessary in the restroom, and ran out of toilet paper at the exact amount that I needed. Of course, I showered right after that, but the point was alignment, perfect timing, perfect measurements. Cool. I went and paid for the room that I'm going to be going to right now. The room that I just went to, it costs a little more than it normally does, but it left me the exact amount I needed, or a couple dollars more, to pay for tomorrow's room. Okay? For what my uncle gave me versus what it is I already had versus how much that costs, which is a little more. In the account, I have exactly enough amount to get what I need for tomorrow to align with another room there at the Studio Lodge. Then, after that, I found myself needing to eat breakfast and do the artwork for the playlist that I had made. But mind you, it's 2 playlists, so I got to make 2 artworks. But my thinking was, these are 2 of the same type of playlists. So what I'm going to do is just make the same type of art, but then just make some subtle changes so that they mirror one another, but it can be told, you can tell the difference, basically what I'm trying to say. So I did that, and I realized I was running out of time after showering and all the different stuff. I'm looking at my clock and I'm saying to myself, okay, you're pushing it, bro. You're going to be like 15, 20 minutes late. And then I heard a voice in my head say, no, you have the exact amount of time you need. Now, mind you, it's like 11:25. I had just finished the playlist art, did pictures of the playlist art, and I'm sitting down to eat my oatmeal. The oatmeal was just enough to make me full. Not a bite more than I needed, not a bite less than I would ask for. You don't have to believe that. It's just what it was. I was perfectly comfortable with the portion that I had given myself. Then I got myself up out of there, brushed my teeth, did everything I needed to do, checked everything, put everything together to get myself out of there. When I finally brought all of my bags to the lobby and handed her the paperwork, it was 11:59. I am not bullcrapping nothing I'm saying. All of that went exactly like that. And checkout time is at 12. Okay? That's how real that was. In part of my prayer, I asked the Lord to put me in the right car, you know, to get me over there, and a good, you know, ride over. I asked him to fix the toilet, which has been broken for the last 3 months over here at NoHo Hotel. I got in the car with a great guy, smooth ride over, came over there, and he didn't make me wait. He did not make me wait. I checked in, smooth sailing. When I got over there, they had just finished cleaning the room. At the exact moment I walked up to the door, checked in, they were finished with my room. He gave me the stuff immediately, and I was able to check in, sit down, and be cool. All of this All of this happened over the last 6 hours. And all of it, every bit of it, is what I asked the Lord to do. To align me with the right timing and circumstances so that this day could go smooth. It's exactly how it went. Oh, and I forgot one. I forgot one. So, around 11 o'clock, the power in my room cut off. Probably planned. They did that. And one of the things that I was doing while I was eating breakfast was thinking, okay, if for some reason I got to wait over here for 2 hours, plus, you know, the power doesn't turn back on, maybe I can charge my phone in the lobby for like 5 minutes between when the Uber gets here and when she's processing me. But other than that, I probably should conserve my power on my phone, because I don't know when I'll be able to charge it until I'm able to check in. Assuming that I would have to wait till like 2 or 3 o'clock to check in. Mind you, it's like 11:50 something. So it's like, it's going to be 3 hours before I'll probably be able to charge my phone in a lengthy way. And a voice in my head said, no, just watch whatever you want to watch. We're going to be fine in that regard. I'm like, and I'm looking at my phone, and it just, when the power went out, my phone was at 100%. It was on the charger at 100%, hadn't drained at all. So I'm like, okay. And I turned on my you know, the finishing up the podcast that I'd been watching with the motivating statements there. I watched that while I was eating breakfast, and the power didn't really turn back on until I was done with my push-ups. Randomly, as soon as I finished my 109th push-up, I got up and the power turned back on. My phone was at 93%. It charged up to 100% when I finally pulled it out of the wall. I mean, like, just unbelievable alignment, man. Unbelievable alignment on this day. And so that's what I want to tell everybody, man. This was one of the strangest moments or days in my life thus far as it pertains to what aligned with everything I was trying to do. Every single thing I needed done, down to the absolute measurement, has aligned. And so I'm just kind of thankful, if anything, but also wondering what else is about to happen. You know what I mean? And look, it doesn't mean that I'm going to get the apartment. Or it doesn't even mean that it's supposed to come my way. As I told my sister that I was speaking with, I'll be happy either way. And I told God when I got in the showers, I prayed, like, you know, I'm not in the business of taking any blessings from my sister. If this is supposed to be her place, I want her to have it. Least of all to fix my own circumstance. That's not what we pray here for. We pray for my family to get what they need. And if I get what I need as well, I'm happy with that. But I'm fine. Like, the Lord knows I'm fine. So if Pam's supposed to have a place, I'm going to be happy that she got the place. That's not cap. That's really what it is. But I don't think she wants it. So if she doesn't want it and it's right for me, then let's get me going. You know, I'm not turning down no blessings either. You know, that kind of thing. But, you know, I mean, when you talk about the alignment of things and how I felt when I first walked in that room 3 weeks ago, and the overwhelming embrace that energy was for me, for it to exit like this felt completely and utterly divine. And so I just wanted people to know that. I don't know if you had many times like that where everything lines up perfectly, but this is one of those days thus far. And I prayed about it, which makes it even more cool, because it's not like I just woke up and then proceeded things to work out like that. I meditated the whole way. And I guess because I meditated that way, it set me on the path for alignment. So I'm open to whatever he wants to do next. God specifically what wants to do next. And right now I'm just going to go take care of the responsibility I have to get what I need for tomorrow. Because, of course, they only take cash. So that's where I'm headed now. But that's really what it's about, man. I've been having a very good morning, even though I think the enemy, so to speak, wanted me to stress over my uncle's concern about what the update is, when I know better than to be worried about that. I don't think my uncle's intention was to worry about that, but just the same, I think that's what the enemy wanted me to do in my brain. And it didn't work, because I was doing something I love to do. And then right after that text came, my sister gave me some type of hope, if not solution, depending on how this pans out. I was bold enough. get in front of a cop and then slow down. I don't think I've seen that too many times. But yeah, man, that's how that went. So I just wanted to share that with all of you guys, man. Headed on in, and I will holler at everyone very soon. BDF 44. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.